So if your child only eats chicken nuggets, crackers, and pasta, you're not alone. Picky eating is one of the most common concerns that I hear from parents. But here's the thing, most of the time it's not necessarily about the child being bad or being defiant. Usually there's a reason behind it. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down 5 reasons why your child might be a picky eater and what's really going on beneath the surface. So reason number 1 could be that your child may be experiencing some type of sensory aversion or some type of sensitivity when it comes to food. So if you think about it, eating is such a heavily sensory type of experience, right? You have to look at the food, you have to smell the food, you have to touch the food, you have to taste the food. Literally, it's a full-blown sensory experience. And so if your child is one that is sensitive to a variety of these sensory inputs, that could be leading them or could be the underlying cause behind some of those picky eating behaviors. And so if a child is not going to look at the food or smell the food or touch the food, you can probably guarantee that they're not going to put that in their mouths. Maybe the mashed potatoes are a little bit too slimy for them, or the smell of broccoli is just too strong for them. Remember, this is not defiance, it's just their nervous system reacting to this type of sensory input. Reason number 2 that your child may be experiencing some picky eating behaviors is due to a lack or a decrease in their oral motor skills. And basically what I mean by oral motor skills is basically how your child moves their mouth muscles, right? There's a lot going on when it comes to eating food. So your child has to chew the food. They have to figure out how to move the food around in their mouths. They have to figure out how to move their jaw, how to move their tongue from side to side, how to swallow the food, how to chew the food in small enough pieces so they can swallow it safely without choking. So there are so many components when it comes to actually chewing and manipulating the food. And sometimes it doesn't always come as second nature to your child. I mean, for plenty of us, we've been eating for a while now, so we don't have to even think about it. It just comes naturally. But for those kids that are a lot younger, especially for those new eaters, there is a lot going on that their little brains are still trying to navigate and figure out. And sometimes if they have any muscle weakness or low tone in their mouth or oral area, that could definitely impact the foods that they eat. This could be the reason why your child always prefers those purees, or they always prefer those soft, meltable foods, because they don't have any work to do. You can literally put the puree or put the meltable food in their mouth and they just literally swallow it, or it just melts and it dissolves for them. So just think about whether or not your child may be experiencing some weakness in the oral area, and if they are, that could be another reason why they're a picky eater. The third reason why your child may be a picky eater could be due to mealtime pressures and environmental stressors. So remember, the more pressure you apply to the child, so saying things like, please just take another bite, please just finish this, please try this, please do this, the more pressure you put on that child to try a new food or try something, the more they're going to be resistant to doing it. You want to make sure that mealtime is not a place of stress for them. It's not a place of shutdown for them. Because if you are constantly forcing the child to try something, or you are even force feeding the child, which you're not supposed to do, but if you're doing things like that, that child automatically is going to associate food, mealtime with stress, which is going to lead them to shut down, which is going to lead to those picky eating behaviors. So remember to keep mealtime calm. Keep a steady food routine on a daily basis for them, and make sure you're showing the child that you are enjoying foods yourself, right? Make sure that you are being their role model for them instead of always trying to force them. So just think about yourself as an adult, right? If somebody's always pressuring you to do something, like get off the couch and go to the gym, get off the couch, go to the gym, get off the couch. Like if somebody is like embedding that into you all the time, the more resistant you're probably going to be, right? You're probably not going to want to do it because this person keeps pressuring you to do it. But if you start seeing that other person going to the gym all the time and they're getting great results, and you see what kind of foods they're eating, and you're seeing them just having so much more joy and energy after working out, that's gonna be a little bit more motivating for you because you have seen the positive effects of it. You've seen the positive role model instead of them always like drilling it to you. So same thing with the child, right? You don't wanna always try to force something and force them to eat, force them to eat. Take the pressure off, right? Take that attention off, because sometimes if you are too focused, and the kids can pick up that you're too stressed out about it, and kids do pick up when you're stressed. If they see that you are so stressed out about it, they're probably going to shut down when it comes to meal times themselves. Now, the fourth reason why your child may be experiencing some picky eating behaviors is linked to control. So especially for our younger kiddos, just think about how little control they have over their little lives, right? Every single moment of their day, they're being directed by an adult to do something. This is what you're gonna eat, this is what you're gonna wear, this is when you're gonna sleep, this is how you're gonna play, this is how you're gonna learn, this is what you're gonna do. Like, they literally have no control, right? And so when it comes to food and when it comes to meals, that is honestly the one area where they can have control, because you can show them all the food in the world, but it's up to them to actually want to eat or try the food, right? Like I said earlier, you shouldn't necessarily be force feeding the child, because that could just lead to even more trauma. So the one area where they do have control is that food component, which I know it drives parents crazy because you are so used to controlling every little aspect of their lives. So if that child is not eating, right, it could be just a little sign that they're exhibiting a little bit of control. And reason number 5 that your child may be experiencing some type of picky eating behavior could be due to gut or medical issues, or even some traumatic past experiences. So if your child has experienced reflux or constipation or anything like food allergies, those could all be linked to some of those picky eating behaviors. Or even if your child has dealt with gagging or choking or any type of traumatic experience in the past while eating, or even, like I said earlier, being pressured to eat all the time or being force-fed, any of these underlying stressors or gut or medical issues could also be linked to picky eating behaviors. So if you take away just one thing from this video, let it be this. Picky eating is usually not about the child being defiant. Usually there is something else underlying going on as to why your child is experiencing these picky eating behaviors. So now that you have a better understanding of why your child may be a picky eater, you may also be wondering, like, well, what do I do about this? In my next video, I'm going to be walking you through 5 tips on what you can do about it if your child is experiencing these picky eating behaviors. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you stick around so that you are aware of when that next video is live. When it's live, I will also link it in the description box below. So stick around, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.